Hello world, hello world. I see a good number of you are already on standby tonight, waiting to hear the powerful story on Keep It Real show. So this is Keep It Real show, Pastor Esther Obasi-ike's show. And for those of you who are early birds, begin to share quickly, begin to share. If you're right on my Facebook, I want you to quickly touch share. Let the story of tonight go viral. Let it go to all your social groups, all your business groups, all your ministry groups, all your networks, wherever people are. Please let them know that something is about to happen. It is Keep It Real show with Pastor Dr. Esther Obasi-ike tonight from Nairobi, Kenya. If you are tuning in from outside Kenya, please let's hear that you are tuning in from outside Kenya so that we can appreciate you, so very much. All right. Please make sure you have shared. As we are waiting for 8 o'clock to hit the road, let me appreciate those that have come in so early, because I love you when you come in so early. Victoria Kithome, thank you. Pastor Mrs. Florence Langat, my friend, thank you. God bless you. Rosie Masia, God bless you so much. Centrin Nafula Muya, God bless you. Phyllis Njuguna, God bless you. Roslyn Otiato, God bless you. Erastus Ivelia, God bless you. Florence Mukima, God bless you. Lucy Uchechi Udochupu, God bless you. Nyaguti Ngare, God bless you. Rispa Wafula, God bless you. Thank you, Centrin. You said, looking lovely, Mommy and Dr. Diana. Thank you for your compliment. We cannot overlook it. Thank you, God, so much. Lynn, present. Anne Wagombe, Dr. Anne Wagombe, God bless you so much. Jean Marie, God bless you. Amy Azere, Betty Odongo, Catherine Muthoni, Stephen Blessing, Waver Midima, Anne Kawa, Blessing. And imagine we are not yet already 8 o'clock and 77 of you are already waiting. I so love you people. I so love my audience in this show. Mercy Akoth, God bless you. Brenda, God bless you. Janet Shavola, Agnes Rehema, God bless you. God bless every one of you. Madu, watching from Zimbabwe. Thank you so much, all the way from Zimbabwe. Madu, that's from my village. Actually, in Nigeria, we have that name sounds from my village, but you live in Zimbabwe. God bless you. Raphael Opala, Auga V, Beru, Rose Ndungu, Atieno Evelyn. God bless you. Eunice, Favor Atiksa, watching from the Kingdom of Bahrain. Glory be to God. Glory be to God. Benina, Rose, Susie, Alimbo. Too many people are coming in now. Kathy, Clara, Ekwele is watching from Germany. God bless you all the way in Germany. Elizabeth, oh my goodness, thank you so much, all of you that have tuned in. Glory be to God. So we are not talking to Kenya tonight. We are talking to the globe. We are speaking to the world. And I'm so excited that we are speaking to the world. Please keep it coming. Keep it coming. Let's know the countries, the continents that you are representing. And wherever you are, share. Those of you in Germany, please share. Those of you in Bahrain, please share. Those of you in Zimbabwe, please share. Wherever you are, let the people in your country, in your nation, know that something is happening. Let it keep coming. Let it keep coming. We are loaded tonight that we will not wait for latecomers. They will meet us on the way so that next time they tune in before 8 o'clock. It is now 8 o'clock. Somebody says, I'm tuning in from Leopard Beach Hotel. My goodness, you are busy enjoying yourself in Leopard Beach Hotel. That's good. Please take us along next time. Raphael is watching all the way from Somalia. Glory be to God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Let's just begin. Somebody is watching from Texas. From Texas. Glory be to God. All right. I want to believe that as you're tuning in, as you're logging in, you're sharing, you're sharing, you're sharing. Glory be to God. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege tonight to have on the show one of us, a Kenyan, that God Almighty allowed to go through stuff. The Western world, we call it stuff. She went through stuff, and somebody is watching from Canada, Saloto. Thank you so much, all the way from Canada. God bless you. All right, so tonight we are live across the globe, and we have a beautiful daughter of Kenya that God allowed to go through stuff. Sometimes when we are going through, oh, somebody is calling you my girl. So let me acknowledge. Anne Lawrence says, my girl Diana, love you. So,
I
all
love
right.
you too, Pastor Ann.
Okay, so whoever you are that is saying my girl Diana, make sure that everybody that knows Diana tune in tonight. And as you guys are tuning in, please, on that Facebook, make sure you touch like my page, because every Sunday I bring you powerful guests. So you need to be getting alert that we are on, in case you had forgotten. Make sure you touch like and follow me on my Facebook. Follow me on my Twitter. Subscribe to my YouTube. We are live on YouTube. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube right now. We are live on YouTube, on Facebook. Share, quickly touch share, and again touch like and follow. Follow me quickly. Follow me, and I can tell you, if you follow me, we will make it to heaven. That one, I'm not just talking. I am telling you what I'm sure about. Please follow me so that you can be getting updates of what we are doing. Then, if you are on Twitter, please follow me. All right, Anne Lawrence is saying, I'm tagging the Mama Woman of God, Esther Obasi-ike. Thank you, Anne Lawrence, for tagging me, Mama Woman of God. That's my name, actually, Mama Woman of God. I love that name. So please make sure you share, you follow me, you follow me on Twitter, on Instagram. Somebody is watching from Washington. Look at all the audience we have tonight: Canada, Washington, Texas, Somalia, Berlin, Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Diana Kamande. Let's give her a clap welcome to this show tonight. Let's show her our love. All right. Somebody, Kitolo, is saying, my kindest sister girl, strength of a woman. So I don't know whether you know the fellow that is calling you her girl here again. And she said, yeah, so somebody is watching from Carolina. Ivoni, God bless you in Carolina. God bless you so much. Oh, we have audience across the globe. So who is Dr. Diana Kamande? Just in 2 minutes, if you meet someone who just wants to know who you are in a blink of an eye, what will you say? Somebody is watching from Geneva. We have somebody from Switzerland. Glory be to God. Jacqueline from Switzerland. God bless you. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. And I would love to thank God, first of all, because of the gift of life. If we were not alive, we would not be here. So it has taken His mighty hand for us to be here. And two, I would also thank God for you, because it's not everybody who will hear about someone that you've never met and be willing to host her. So it takes divine connection, and I'm so humbled to be here. First of all, I always say I am a mother, because that's my full-time job. I'm so much graced by God to be a mother of two beautiful girls who are very, very good and who keep me going because of the way they believe in me and they look up to me as their source of earthly strength, because they have another supernatural strength that comes from God. Diana is also a founder of an organization known as Come Together Widows and Orphans Organization. And I minister differently. You know, so many people are called and called differently. You're a pastor. You know how to work on people's souls and also to lead them to the kingdom of God. But I minister differently. I am favored and graced to work with the vulnerable. So that is my work that I love. I wake up to that work. I sleep. I get calls around the country sometimes, and even people call me from out of the country to help their loved ones back here. I work with widows, survivors of gender-based violence, and orphans, and it is an amazing ministry. James 1:27, I refer to that. I work in the true religion. Thank you. That's Diana in a nutshell.
You have summarized it beautifully, Diana. That's great. Working with the vulnerable. Jesus came for the vulnerable. Jesus came for the vulnerable. And I love what you say, that is pure religion. And I totally agree with you. And if there is anyone that is taking notes tonight, I want you to note what she said, that she ministers differently. You know, ministry is not just handling microphone. Ministry is not just standing at the altar and everyone is watching you and we are telling them stand up, sit down, shout, clap. That is an aspect of ministry. There are other kinds of ministries and you must have to fit into one. Back to you, Dr. Diana. I want you to tell us a little bit of your background in a nutshell. We have seen your introduction, but there must be something that transited you into ministry. You didn't just wake up and started working with the vulnerable. I don't think you just woke up and say, oh my God has called me to work with the vulnerable. Something must have happened that made you to have compassion for the vulnerable. Would you be gracious to share a little about that?
Yes, I'm going to share because we are always told freely you are given and freely give it out. So I would love to encourage someone there that personally, I did not choose to work with the vulnerable, but I found myself that the only good thing I could have done was to give back to the community and serve people who were like myself at that particular time. And I decided, let me continue because it was the best thing to do. As you have told me in a nutshell, I'm just going to cut my story short because it is long, and I'm going to just take people back for those who don't know about myself. In 2013, I survived very bad domestic violence, and this was from my husband. He is late now. The one who had married me was a good man. I always say he was a good man because he was the father of my children and we lived together for 10 years. But one night he just had decided to take lives of all of us. He came back, he had a sword and he wanted to kill me, kill the children, and then kill himself. So when the attempts failed, he managed to cut me, and he really hurt me. If you happen to go to my photos and go back to my story in other YouTube channels, you will find he had cut me for 21 times on my head and on my face. But that one was not a barrier for me to continue, or rather to be ushered into the ministry that I am in. So this particular night, because he was so much determined to end our lives, he happened not to end our lives because God decided to rescue us in his different way. And this is how I found myself, widowed young, survived violence, having 2 children who have gone through trauma, and also being neglected by the society, judged wrongly. And I don't know why women are really judged harshly by the society. Having served with women, I think this is my 8th year working with women. I have realized the society really judges women very harshly. So I sat down and
very harshly.
Yes, very harshly. And even if a woman does something good, no one will clap. But when a woman does something wrong, you find she is all over social media, print media, everywhere. So I decided, when I asked myself, who supports such women? Who works with such women and they are vulnerable? Who thinks about that woman who maybe she never saw the door of a classroom because of one reason or another? So I decided, let me step up. I remember on my hospital bed, I had a notebook and a pen that was brought to me by my brother. I kept on writing a few things here and there that I was feeling they were not happening in the right way. I remember I had a sling on one side of my hand because he had also interfered. If you see my hand, I have several metal plates running down. So I'm here, I'm trying to note down a few things here and there, and visitors continue streaming into my hospital room. People could question me, what happened, what transpired, why didn't you keep quiet? Why don't you keep quiet as a woman? Because anytime I try to tell people I am going to speak about this, even women themselves wanted to silence me. So this is how the ministry in me was born, and I felt just I needed to step up. I felt it only takes one person. And biblically, if you compare this, you find that when God saw mankind was going to perish, he decided to send his only son, Jesus Christ. I tried to look at it. God could not have sent the angels because they were many. God could not have sent the Holy Spirit. God decided, I'm going to send Jesus Christ himself to bring salvation to the world. So I just decided to step up out of my painful past, out of all that I have gone through. I always say I was not trying to do something for myself, for the others, but I was trying to get healing for myself and healing for the other people. First of all, I had thought of myself. You know, even the Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So
Yeah.
personally, I was trying it. First of all, I come out of that trauma and I get my own healing. In the process, I realized there were so many women, widowed, survived domestic violence, keeping quiet, still in abusive marriages, women who felt like it was not good to leave an abusive spouse because
Mm-hmm.
it comes up to that time that you have to leave an abusive institution of marriage. But people were taking it lightly, and I thought it is important to step up and speak the truth because if, the way the Bible says that God is never pleased when a sinner dies, God is never happy because
Mm-hmm.
he will never be happy when a sinner will die. He would want that sinner to reconcile and get
Mm-hmm.
into good terms with him. So I thought it is not also good for a woman. And I always tell people, and even men, because there are also men who also go through gender violence and they keep quiet. I keep on telling people, I believe there is only one person who died for the whole world, and that is Jesus Christ. You should never die because you're not trying to redeem anyone. There is your blood cannot redeem even a chicken. So you should never die in an abusive relationship. So this is what
Okay.
compelled
Just
me.
hold on there, Diana. We have some questions for you.
Yes.
Before we ask you those questions, let me see whether we can get something on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
There is something I want them to show on the screen, and they told me it is
Yes.
ready. So I don't know why it's not showing. Just a minute. All right. Let me, as we are waiting for them to show what they are supposed to show, I'm just seeing blank,
Mm-hmm.
not seeing anything there.
Okay.
I want to find out, when you were talking, you said that you
Mm-hmm.
married a good man. You
Yes.
know, there is something I have noticed about women, and it cuts
Mm-hmm.
across everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You see a woman that the husband has been beaten, and when
Mm-hmm.
you call them for issues to, talk to them, when they come, the woman starts with, my husband is very good. My husband has
Mm-hmm.
been very good. That I don't know what happened to him yesterday. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
this man has been beating her all the years, women have that ability to cover their husbands a lot. You will see a man so bad. When the wife is talking about him, he will tell you, oh, my husband is so good. Just pray for him in one aspect. I think that's just our nature to cover and cover and cover and cover up. So now let me ask you, you said that you married a very good man. How can somebody that was very good suddenly one day wake up and decide to take life of everybody? What was good about him, and what could have happened that
to me, he was so good because he really took care of us. You know, to every woman, whenever you're being provided for, your children are being provided for, the bills are being paid, and this person can be able to take care of you in any way that a woman would love to be taken care of. That was my interpretation of love. That was my interpretation for provision, because he was able to provide in a good way. And also, I interpreted his insecurity to be love, because he was so insecure. He could not have done so many things by himself without involving me. That one, I thought it was giving me responsibilities, but I came to realize, even when this person will come, find, like, let me use the example of when you're in the church, find somebody is sitting next to you because he was late, and he's so insecure that he would stand there until the usher comes and removes the person sitting next to me, and he's the one sitting next to me. So to me, that was not insecurity. I came to learn it was insecurity later on. To me, it was love. So, and this is the interpretation that so many women are going to interpret. This is the person who would want you to give them, like after 15 minutes updates of wherever you are, what you're doing. When you're with your friends, what are you doing? If you happen to do something that is, maybe, for example, you just had a discussion and maybe your phone rings, you have to tell him that my phone has rung, I have to pick this phone. And this happened especially where I was working, because I was working in a private NGO. I remember there were times that I could always be on my phone. You see, like, I am typing and I'm holding my phone talking to him. You see, the way you don't have your own freedom to continue working. You have to continue working as you have you're speaking to him on phone. That person who is doing things behind you, but he didn't want at all for you to ever discuss something even with your workmates. So you see, you don't have that time even to interact with your workmates. But to me, even when my workmates could see those red flags, like, you're always on phone, who are you talking to? And then I could tell them I'm talking to my spouse. And they're like, Kwani, you cannot have time for yourself, you cannot have time for us in the office. But to me, they were like, they were like, they didn't know what they were asking me. Why are you asking me this? And this is not your spouse, this is my own husband. So these were some of the insecurities that I had to cope up with. But to me, my interpretation was love. I think, as you hear somebody said, love is blind, but marriage opens your eyes. I think I was still blind even in marriage. So I still in that mood of love where you're loved and loved and loved. And even when you get into marriage, marriage has not yet opened your eyes. But I think I cannot say that he was bad, according to me. He is good.
Okay.
It's not that because he's not.
Let me come into that.
Yes.
I think as people are listening to us today, I think there are things, there are signals, there are things we should watch out for in a relationship. When a relationship, somebody feels insecure in a relationship, I know that I will take you back a bit to how you met the man. I will take you back because I think I will define a few things for the audience, how you met that man. But I want us to realize that insecurity is not a Christian principle or discipline. It's not part of our Christian culture, because Jesus came to deliver us from insecurity. We're supposed to have freedom. So when I am hanging around somebody, or I'm living with somebody who feels insecure, monitors me all the time, where are you? Who are you talking to? There is a difference between loving somebody to be able to know, I miss you, where are you? Please come back home. That is totally different. When somebody feels that I don't have confidence or trust so much in you, and I am asking, who do you talk to all the time? That's totally different. But when it is a behavior that it's like I am not secured, I have to be with you, I have to hang around you, I have to talk to you, something is secretly somewhere lying down. It is not love. So I want the people that are listening today to understand the difference between love and insecurity, because otherwise they may discover this kind of thing in a relationship that may not even be husband and wife, and they may not dictate it until it becomes suicidal, it becomes tragic. So anybody around you that is not feeling secured, ask God to reveal what the issue is. There is something that individual is hiding that only that individual knows. Let's go back a bit. How you got married to him, because I remember you mentioned that you just met this man, matatu driver, and from day one he deceived you. He made you believe that he was the owner of the matatu instead of being the driver. So from day one, something was wrong. So can you just flash back before we move forward?
Okay, thank you. Flashing back, I remember I was going to college, and this is how we met. Every time I used to be at the terminals and waiting for a matatu, most of the time I would end up using the matatu that he was driving. And this is how we bonded. Little before I knew it, I just found myself had fallen in love with him, but he had asked me if we could fall in love. He didn't force me. So this is how we met. And he continued. He could drop me to school. He could sometimes give me money for lunch, but I was not money minded. But anytime he could have offered that he wanted to give me money for lunch, that is when I could take the money that he had offered to me. But it was not every day. Then I remember one of the weekends is when he told me to go and visit him. So that's how I got married. It was as easy as that. This is how I ended up in his house for 10 years. It was not easy. It was not easy.
Let me come in there. Let me come in there before you talk about how the relationship was not easy. Okay. You met him, and from there, you ended up in his house for 10 years. Tell us, were you properly married? Did you give your parents the honor to give you out to him, or you just disappeared with him?
No, I did not. It was disappearing. And actually, so many things that I came to realize, anytime that you are lying to yourselves, because you lie to yourselves, anytime you're lying to yourselves, you think that, first of all, your parents know a lot because your parents have been there before, or they have seen quite a lot than you. So to me, it was just like running away from home. And this is how, whatever he was telling me, that he owned the matatu, it was his personal business. I just came to realize it was not his business. He was not even able to take care of me, even buying me clothes. So I had to plot a deal, because my parents used to go to church, and this has been their nature, that they would miss church, they would go to church early. So I had to plot a deal, because I had my own spare key, that anytime we could come back home and maybe find our parents were not back home because of scarcity of mobile phones at that time. We always had our own spare keys. So I managed to access home and got my clothes from home. And even I remember I threw the spare key through the kitchen window and removed my mobile SIM card. So this is how I ended up in the hands of this man as my husband at that time. And within no time, I found myself pregnant. And this is how I got my first girl.
Thank you so much. You know, this our show is called Keep It Real Show. And so in this place, we like to keep it real so that people can actually learn the lessons that they need to learn. And so our audience, as you are hearing the Keep It Real Show, keeping it real. Number one, this relationship had a problem from the origin. The foundation was completely wrong.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, the foundation was completely wrong. She did not seek the consent of her godly parents. We didn't have time to go to her the story of her parents, both wonderful children of God, the parents. And you have heard how she plotted out to disappear from the house and to follow a man that from day one started deceiving her. And they now went and stayed in the house. No dowry, no wedding, no parental blessing. And eventually she conceived and had a child. And now trouble started and things started going on until her life was almost gone. As we now go back to hear that the story of that day, that particular day, that critical day, I want us first to look at the screen, the things that we have put on the screen for people to understand the photos on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, the same Diana you are hearing tonight, these are her photos. These photos you are seeing they are photos that when she was in the hospital, you could see the eyes, what the husband did to her. You could see that. Can you compare this with the beautiful woman we are seeing? And that's why I believe that there is hope for somebody tonight. There is hope. Somebody is saying, this is serious. Yes, this is serious. I mean, she's going to talk to you about it. Look at her face. Thank God for the God of restoration. Okay? Look at what the husband, somebody who loved, in quote, loved her, did to her. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to please open your eyes in every relationship. She has said it well, the way our general overseer normally says that love is blind, but marriage will open it immediately. Don't wait until marriage opens that eye. Get your senses right. Get your senses right. There is no way a man can take you and be deceiving you and you stay there covering up. Covering up. So I want you people to be learning lessons. And you can't stay around people who feel insecure. The Bible says that we have received the spirit of liberty, freedom. So when you are around people who feel insecure, there is something they are covering up. They are not quiet. Let me tell you, sometimes you hear that they've caught terrorists. What do you normally hear about those people? The neighbors will say they are very quiet. They keep to themselves. They are not troublemakers. They love to be on their own. God did not create us to be on our own. So when you begin to see people who are on their own, they don't like mingling with people. Something is not right. Let's move on back. I will now remove the screen so that we can see her face very well as we continue. Let me get back to you, Diana. What happened on that fateful day? That day he wanted to kill your child. Please tell us, keep it real, what happened that day? Even if we don't finish, we can go to part 2 later. Let's get this because your story is an inspiration. So what happened on that day?
Okay, on that particular day, as usual, we were used to go to work together. And I remember that day, it was on a Friday, and the next day on a Saturday, our daughters were part of Flower Girls in a certain wedding. We had a family friend wedding in the church because I continued going to the same church when I made my way right back with God again. And to date, I still go to the same church. I just decided these are my roots, this is my foundation, this is where I reconciled, and this is where I should be. So I purposed and said, once I'm back there, I'm going just to participate in each and everything. So one of our family friends was wedding, and we had to be there, participate, because the girls are Flower Girls. I'm also participating in preparations of the wedding. So I remember this Friday, I told him, I'm going to leave early and go to church. Then from church, I'm going to go home So I had to give the order of events. You see the way like you draw a timetable so that he can understand me. That was the only way we could have communicated better. And this is why sometimes I say it's important. I don't know whether it is sometimes or always. It is important also to have good time in getting to know each other, because every relationship has responsibilities. It is not a duty in relationship. I believe it's a responsibility. So I took it as my responsibility, because this is who he is. I had learned to keep up with the insecurities. So I had to draw the timetable and hand it over. And anytime I'm called to be asked, I'll still explain where I am. So he leaves me at my place of work. And all this that was happening was also like a cocoon that was created for me to live in. Picked from home, dropped at my place of work, picked from my place of work, dropped back home. And anytime I have to go anywhere and leave him behind, I have to explain. So I explained as usual and left. I remember around 3 p.m. is when I left office, went to church, but with a phone call to explain I'm going to church. Arriving in church, you explain. And I remember after doing everything in church that we were doing, I had forgotten to tell him that I'm going back home. So he calls me and asks me where I am. So anytime you forget something, you have to start by apologizing. So I had to apologize and tell him, oh, sorry, I am going back home and this is what I'm going to do when I get home. And he asked me, what are you preparing for dinner tonight? Then I tell him, and he says, no, I'm not going to eat whatever the kids are eating. I want you to prepare for me ugali and fried meat. I don't want to eat rice. And that was okay with me. I think I was so okay with that. I don't know whether it is in the context of the African culture where we are socialized that women, we misinterpret the word submission. So to me, I think going to do whatever I've been asked to do, whether I'm being commanded to do it or wrongly or rightly, to me, I think I had learned to put up with it. So I went, prepared whatever I was told to prepare. I remember this at this time now in the evening, my house help is ironing clothes. At this time now, we had already gotten our second born child. So she's ironing clothes, I'm here preparing the meals, and somebody knocks. This person knocks uncontrollably and very unusual. It was unlike him. Going to open the gate, I find it is him. The kids come running. He sends them, go back to your mother. I'm like, the way the abuser will always want you to ask yourself questions. What have I done? We spoke. I tried to flash back. We have spoken. I told him, I have done this, until I got to a place, I interrogated myself. I tried to internalize everything that I was to do. I had done it. So why is he behaving like this? And I came to realize, so the abuser will always want you to ask yourself questions. What wrong did you commit? They are always on the right side. So I decided I'm not going to continue asking myself questions. Let me go to the kitchen, warm the food, and present the food to him. The food that he asked for, he said he's not going to eat it. He walked directly to the bedroom. You see, he's trying to prove that I am wrong or I've done something wrong. So he just walked directly to the bedroom.
For what you have not done.
Yes. So I am like, guilty. What have I done? And directly to the bedroom. Then I go call him, come and eat your food. No, I don't want your food. The girls that also followed me and they're told, go back to your mother. So I decided, let me go and help my house girl to fold the clothes that she's not ironing. So as I continued folding the clothes is when my house help tells me, see, he has picked all the keys. And then as you said, as women, we like rubber stamping a lot of things. So I rubber stamped by asking my house help, what is your problem? What is your problem? This is his house. He can do whatever he feels like. I don't know what he has premeditated, but as a woman, I've given him power. The power is already in his hands. This is his house and he can do whatever he feels like doing. it was okay to me, but today I know it is not okay. At that time, it was okay, but now I know better. It is not okay, and there are better ways of, when somebody feels angry or irritated by you, if he feels you have offended him, he should sit you down and you build up a conversation and get a solution. But that was not the case. So I was left behind here. He has stepped out, he has closed the gate, he has locked the door, the way he could access the door from outside. And me, I'm just okay with it. And I always tell women, you should not be okay with everything. You need to speak. You know, today I have realized even no is also a good answer. You should always tell somebody, express yourself, express your feelings. And this is something and somewhere I went wrong at that time. I could put up with everything because this is a man, and I thought it was the best way. I was submitting. So he steps out, he has closed, and we remain here, we finish everything, and then he's not coming. So I decide, let me call him and tell him we are going to sleep. It's getting late and the girls are going to church very early in the morning because of the preparations because of the wedding. So I call the first call, second call, third call, no response. You see, I'm still guilty. Like, what did I do? I'm calling, he's not responding. You know, the way my mind is my mind is overworking because I don't know what is wrong. Where is he? But I think maybe wherever he was just comfortable. So I decided to leave him a text message. And this text message, I think it's the one that made him now know, okay, these people are going to bed and my mission gonna be accomplished. Because I told him, we are going to bed. I've tried to reach out to you, but you have not responded. So as we are going to sleep, the kids had already slept by that time. But I don't know what happened. That evening I slept like somebody. You see the way a woman delivers, and after laboring for so long and you get sleep, I know women who are listening here, they can relate to that. After maybe prolonged labor and you get some time to rest, you just sleep like a baby. I slept like an infant. I never had him come and leave alone come. Opening the door itself, I never had anything. I never had any movement. Something that was so warm on my face. If you can, you can be able to show that photo again on the
Okay,
face.
I will show it. I think they've Steve, if you are still there, or Apollonia, please let's put up that thing so that I can admit it again. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I felt something that was very painful and very warm on my face, and I remember I touched. And then in the bedroom, there is somebody who is using the mobile phone torch to light the bedroom because it was dark. So I am like, yeah, the thieves have broken into this house. And because they knew my husband is not here, that's why they have decided to do this. So I was so shocked, but I continued now asking myself, why could they have done this? But I think the best thing that I can do now, I'm trying to talk to myself in the middle of the pain and so many questions. I think what I can do, maybe I can negotiate with them and tell them what is available in the house. I'm going to give them the money in the house. I'm going to give them I'm going to tell them to take and carry all the electronics in this house, because I think my husband will also not be angry if I try to do this and save our lives. Then something else tells me, can you put on the bed switch and light the bedroom? So I got the courage and did that, only to find it was him holding, the two-edged sword.
Yeah.
The two-edged sword, the Maasai sword. And I just asked him, why are you doing this to me? And he continued now cutting me. You know the way you can put put a cabbage or an onion on a chopping board. So that's how he started now doing on my head. And he interfered with 5 critical blood nerves in my head.
You said he cut you 21 times.
Yes. If you count from the face, on the forehead, and then behind, all over the head, but behind, I think that's where there were
My
quite a number of
goodness.
cuts. Yeah, including the left ear. I just said, I think I need to hide under the bed. So when I hid under the bed, I remember he called. The first phone call was to my mother-in-law and told her he had killed me. He's going to kill the daughters, and then he kills himself. So my mother-in-law was tasked to prepare for graves. Second phone
For
call was to his
you were
employer.
hearing it.
Yes.
You were hearing it live.
Yes. I'm under the bed and he's calling, so I could hear everything. And I knew whoever he was talking to because I knew how he used to call everybody. You know, there are those names that they call each other. But this one I could understand very well because I knew how he referred to his mother. So the second phone call was to his employer, and he called her and asked her to get another employee. And he explained, he had the audacity to explain everything. I've killed my wife, I'm killing my daughters, and then kill myself. But the final phone call was to my dad. And my dad was told, I have killed her. I think my father asked who, and he said, your daughter.
Hey.
So, yes, and then now he continues to explain, my mother is preparing for graves. Can you prepare for coffins?
Jehovah.
He opened the bedroom door, and at this time I'm not talking. I'm hiding under the bed, keeping quiet, because now you see his mission is not accomplished, but I can hear what he's saying. So the next thing was he went to the kitchen, and I knew he was in the kitchen because now when I get to my kid's bedroom, I found him with a knife. So I hear my firstborn daughter shouting for help, and she asked, please, daddy, don't kill us. I said I would rather die than my children. Stepped out of my hiding place. Thank God he never
The
closed.
love of a mother. When you heard the
Yes,
voice of your children, now you had to come out from your hiding place. Ah.
yes. I said I would rather die than my children. So coming out of my hiding place, thank God he knew that he was done with me. He never closed the door behind him. At this particular point, you remember when I was told to come and prepare a different meal, I was so much in a hurry, I left my handbag under the dining table. So when I entered where we were living, you could access the dining room first before getting to the living room. So I left my handbag under the dining table, and that's how I forgot it there. Remember, he had collected all the keys going out. So the spare key inside my bag is what my house help remembered that I always had my own spare key. So at this moment, my house help had gotten the spare key, gone out and tried to reach out. Remember, everywhere we were seen like a good couple that was doing well. So nobody could have believed what was going on. My house girl tried to reach out to people for help, asking the neighbors to join and help, but nobody was coming on board for us. They were like, these are normal issues. And I always tell people, anytime somebody is asking for help, especially in cases of domestic violence, never take it lightly. You never know what is happening, because even the devil is never happy, even for the people that you think they are very peaceful. So the best thing that happened, my house help managed to reach out to my sister. So at
Thank
this
God
time
for
I've
the
come
kind
out.
of house help you had.
Yes,
My good.
yeah, she is. She's a very good girl, and to date we still talk. So at this particular time, my blood sister, and my brother-in-law arrives at the right time. My sister and the husband. My sister had just come out of a cesarean section, so she was not even strong enough. Actually, she was less than 2 weeks from CS. She had gotten a baby. So she was not strong enough, but they managed to get in. And you remember when I came out of my hiding place going to my kid's bedroom, I remember I found him with a knife, just about to stab my daughter. And I remember when he saw me, he asked me, so you are not dead? And he started shivering and yeah.
He asked you, so you
Yeah.
are not dead. So he was actually
Yeah.
sure you're
So
already dead. That was why he was
yeah, he was.
announcing the obituary to the
Yeah,
family.
that is. Yeah, he was the one who was. He became. I think he became the radio, the TV that was announcing about my death to the family
Yeah,
members. So he was so shocked, and the knife he was holding fell down. So my brother-in-law, I remember he got in. He never wanted to negotiate with him, and took my firstborn girl. My sister carried the other girl, the younger one, and they stepped out. I remember my brother-in-law telling me, "Kindly follow us. Support yourself on the wall. Follow us." I had bled for so long, and I was not able to follow them. So I tried to support myself on the wall, and everybody is fearing for their life. This person is, he's smelling like death because he's turned a murderer.
Let me ask you, Diana, why was there no police officer? Why was it just family affair, your relatives, no military, no police?
Police were called, but they came in late.
Okay.
They came in late, and I think also the voices that we have been able to raise, I can tell you nowadays, police respond very fast. Like I'm talking to you about almost 8 years ago.
Okay.
So you can imagine it has been a journey. There was that time even police themselves, like today you find a man going to report to police that this and this is happening to his life. His life is in danger. Maybe the wife is threatening the man. You find police starting laughing and asking him, "Are you not a man?" So 7 years ago, 8 years ago, you could find a woman going to report and she's being told, you're the one who decided to start maybe insulting your husband. That's why he has behaved that way. So the police were somehow reluctant, but nowadays they're doing very, very well. It's good to give credit where it is due. So at this time now, I'm not able to step out to follow my brother-in-law. They have stepped out of the door. And you see he's holding the baby. The baby is so traumatized. You don't know, maybe if he's not even able to leave the baby and come back for me. So I remember he got hold of me and told me, "Now I'm going to kill you." He pretended that you were dead. So this time he takes the sword and I blocked using my hand.
Just
You
keep
can
it
be
there.
able to.
Keep it there. Keep it there.
Yeah.
He took the sword again and you block the
So
hand. Just keep it there. Give me 1 minute.
yes.
Give me 1 minute. Audience, as you are watching, I want to believe that you have shared. There is no way the story of Dr. Diana will close tonight. It has to be part 2 because she's still just giving us narrative. What she's talking is to narrate what happened. She has not said the things that now how things transited. She mentioned at the earlier stage that she has some artificial nerves in her head, some things on her hand. We need to get there. How did she transit into being a global award winner several times? And what she's doing today, somebody that was left for the dead. So we have to come back for second part so that I don't rush her. I wanted her to finish this story because there are questions I need to ask her before we go. But before then, please note very well. I am going to tell you something that will make you to scream concerning this coming Sunday, next week Sunday. I am going to be hosting on this show Lema Roberta Gove, the woman that led the women of Liberia mass action for peace that helped bring an end to the second Liberian civil war in 2003. Her efforts to end the war, along with her collaborator Elaine Johnson Sirleaf, helped usher in a period of peace and enabled a free election in Liberia in 2005 when Sirleaf won. She, along with Johnson Sirleaf and Tawakkil Kaman, were awarded the 2011 Nobel Peace Prize for their non-violent struggle for the safety of women and for women's rights to full participation in peace building work. Ladies and gentlemen, are you hearing the fellow we are bringing? Are you hearing the fellow we are bringing on board this next week Sunday? Somebody that has won a Nobel Peace Prize and used a non-violent approach to bring a peace to Liberia in the midst of war. A woman. Ladies and gentlemen, this coming Sunday, don't miss my show for any reason. Don't miss my show for any reason. The people you hear about on CNN, BBC, they are right here with us on Keep It Real show. So next Sunday, we'll be hearing the Liberian story, the Liberia story. Now, don't forget that we're in a very important week, our 25 years anniversary of our mission work in East Africa. I want to believe that you are giving God all the clap, all the clap, all the clap. That today we have the Redeemed Christian Church of God in Kenya strong and having strong influence in East Africa because we obeyed the call of God upon our lives 25 years ago and few months. So this week is loaded. On Thursday, we shall be having a program physically and online at the same time. By 5:30, please join us at RCCG Solution Center, Mbagati Way, Nairobi. 5:30, join us physically. On Friday, 5:30 p.m., join us physically in the same venue. Then, in the evening, at night, 10 p.m., there will be Kesha. And in that Kesha, that the prince will be ministering, I'll be ministering, and Reverend Moses Arinsala, a prayer champion. Some of you know him. We'll be ministering all the way from Nigeria. And so you can't afford to miss our vigil on Friday, 10 p.m. online. But there will be a physical meeting, 5:30 p.m. the same Friday, loaded. Saturday, 4 p.m., there shall be physical meeting in church by 4 p.m. Please honor us with your presence on Sunday, whether you are from RCCG or not. If we have been of blessing to you, if we have in any way related with you that made your life, even if it is 1% increase, please join us on Sunday for our Thanksgiving, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. at RCCG Solution Center. Please don't forget our evening sacrifice tomorrow, 8 p.m. live prayer with me on this page, both Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Tomorrow, 8 p.m., I'll be leading you on making decrees and demands. And I want to let you know that our focus tomorrow will be on healing, physical healing and emotional healing. Physical healing and emotional healing. So many people are sick physically as I'm talking to you. Please join us. We want to make a decree and a demand for healings to flow like a river tomorrow. If you're well, then you are a debtor to pray. If you are not sick, nothing is worrying you physically and mentally, then I can tell you, you should be number one to report yourself to this prayer, because you are a debtor to pray for others. So we are making decree and demands for healing tomorrow. Join us 8 o'clock tomorrow. Don't forget our midweek service on Wednesday, 5 p.m. I will be ministering on Wednesday. All right. If you have not shared this show tonight, please share it. And if you have not clicked on follow me on my Facebook. Click now, follow. Go to my YouTube, subscribe. Go to my Twitter, follow. Go to my Instagram, follow. All right. Back to you. We have just 5 minutes to close. And I'm sure people will be saying, I can't believe. Somebody is saying, Deaconess Jumoke is saying, I can't believe that this is a true life story. That this is horrible. Many people are commenting and they've not even had the area where your in-laws came in another dimension. So we will not want to stretch it so that we get to part 2 and start with where they were from your in-laws, who actually witnessed that you were almost killed, and yet they took you to court and now twisted the story that you were the one that killed their son. We will get there to see what a young lady went through and today who she is. So tonight, just let us know, Diana, when you now put your hand and the sword came, what happened? That is where we will want to close the show of tonight, so that part B will be continuation of this series, and now how you transited and how you can help others to transit. Please, let's wrap it up.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for those informative updates. Now Now, I was talking about that and how he broke the bones, and those bones now had to be fitted with 7 metal plates. That I think it was a very, very painful moment, but at the same time, you know, after every pain, there is always something that is very, very, very successful. If you turn you don't look at a lemon as something that is not sweet, because nowadays we even have lemonade juice. So all the bones running down from this place, because you see the way like you can break a piece of sugar cane. That's how I felt pain when this bone was being broken. Being taken to the hospital, this part of my arm hanging down, and then all these metal plates running down to the elbow. So it was a painful moment, but at the same time, one thing that I always say, I never ever saw death. To date, I've never seen my death. I always tell people I cannot speak about my death because at that time I never saw it.
Glory be
So
to
to date,
God.
I cannot even speak about it because in that pain, in that situation, during that ordeal, I never saw death. It is him who saw death, and I think his time had come. So me, I never saw my death. I never saw my children dying, and this is how I came to believe you can only become what you see. I never saw
Hallelujah.
death. I am alive. 8 years, almost 8 years down the line, I am alive. My daughters are big girls and they're in school. I am still doing life. I will explain more because God has given me the grace, and I think this grace has really kept me. I think when Paul spoke about the thorn in the flesh, this was about a thorn in my flesh. But I believe to date, God's grace has been sufficient in my life. Thank you so much for having me.
That word grace,
Yes.
that word grace. This evening, my husband and I were praying this evening around to 6 p.m. We went on our
Yeah.
knees to pray, and he told me, let's pray for 3 things: grace, mercy. What is the next one, my treasure, if you remember? Compassion. Grace to increase, grace never to depart from us. The mercy of God, the compassion of God towards us. And I laid flat on the floor. I went flat, Kabisa. As soon as he raised that topic, I went Kabisa on the floor. And I was telling God, may grace never depart from us. In fact, I was saying, God, anybody who meets us should see people full of grace. Full of grace. Let people look at us and say, the grace upon you is simply amazing. The mercy of God and the compassion of God. I think that is the only way one can interpret why you are on the show tonight. Why you are traveling all over the world receiving an award. It is that grace. And I love what you said, which should be our pattern shot. You never saw your death. You never saw your death. And that you only receive what you saw. So you refuse to see death. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't see your death. Don't see your shame. Don't see your sorrow. Don't see your downfall. Don't see don't see, when they flash, say, I have not seen. When they flash in your mind, say, I have not seen. Back to sender. Back to sender. Begin, begin to see 120 years in strength, in vigor, in vitality. See yourself flying all over the world, doing incredible things. See yourself doing a big work for God. Begin to see. She never saw death with 21 cuts. 21 cuts, head, hands. She never saw death. A sword, two-edged sword on her child. She never saw death. The love of a mother, even bleeding, had to fight for her children. Somebody is saying, I am curious to know the end of this man. How did he die? We will not answer that question tonight. We will not answer that question tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, how did he die? We will hold on. We will hear how he died. The next part B. Then we will now hear, after he died, what the family did with Diana. Then from there, we will now transit. Diana, you taught me a serious lesson on forgiveness. Oh my God. We are going to get to that point. Then from there to now how you forgave and the world opened up for you. The whole world opened up for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to bring this show to a close, but I just have to, so that we wait for part 2. Dr. Diana, thank you so much for being my guest tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for your openness, your sincerity, your simplicity, your inspiration. So many people are sharing you. Please, I will advise you, when you have time, go to my page and read the comments. Go to my page and interact with the people. This is a huge congregation you have from across the globe. So you go there, hear what they are saying, and if there are those of them you need to talk to there, you make your comments and they will get in touch. I know that tonight I invited some widows specifically to listen to you, to see how to join your association, because they need to be part of the National Widows Association and know what's going on, okay? So I believe that in part 2, I don't want to jump the gun. So in part 2, you will tell them how you started it and what is going on with the widows in Kenya. How many are you? How many widows? What are your programs? What do? You even talked about orphans, how you bring them together. We want to look at what God made out of you. So your story is beauty for ashes. That is how I describe it. He gave you beauty for ashes. And I want to believe that there is somebody listening to us tonight who will receive beauty for ashes. Just by being part of tonight's show, you will receive beauty for ashes. Sue Kimani is saying this is an excellent eye-opener and helpful show, especially to women in such abusive marriages and relationships. God continually increase our host, Mommy DCO. DCO means a Deputy Continental Overseer and the Pioneer Missionary in East Africa. Thank you so much, all our fans. God bless you. Just in a statement, what is your parting shot, Dana?
My parting shot is all about hope. And I always tell people, you must never, ever kill your hope. Keep hope alive and you will live. Thank you so much.
Keep hope alive. That is it. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive on Keep It Real Show with Pastor Esther Obasi-ike. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive with Pastor Esther Obasi-ike on Keep It Real Show. Next Sunday, like I say, please invite as many as possible. When you see our flyer, market it. Let's see how a woman use a non-violent approach to bring peace to the nation of Liberia. A woman. Let's see how she did it next Sunday. God bless all of you so much and help us to share this program to all and sundry. To all of our guests tonight across the globe, have a beautiful weekend. As for you, Dr. Diana, please don't log out. Just hold on